Alright, this is section 12.3, day 2, and today we're going to be doing the surface area of cones. So we've talked about all the three types of pyramids we have, and today is kind of the last pyramid, but we call it a cone because it has a circular base. So here's our base of our cone. It's that circle on the bottom, and then just like the other pyramids, we've got a slant height, and then we've got regular height. They just labeled a couple of extra things. There's something called lateral surface. It's not really a topic or a word we're talking about right now, and then vertex is just where that cone all comes to a point at the top. So that slant height, still that cursive L, that slant height's on the outside. I'm going to draw in the actual height, which is right there. So could be looking at doing some Pythagorean's theorem again, just depending on which numbers you get in your cone. So you can go to your formula card and under cone for surface area, we've got pi r squared plus, sorry, I lost my spot, pi r L. So we've got two radiuses and then your slant height. So first example, find the surface area of each figure. I'm just going to write the formula down. We're going to plug in what we have and see what we don't know. So pi r squared, pi r L. So radius, I know that that's a 6, so I get to put that in both places. And then slant height would be this. So we don't know that yet, so I'm going to do a little Pythagoras. I'm just going to draw it off to the side. 6, and then this side is 8, so we are looking for that right there. I'm going to label that as my L for slant height. So 6 squared plus 8 squared equals slant height squared, and my slant height is 10. So now when I plug all this in, there are some calculators that will add this together, and it kind of looks like almost like terms. Like you're going to have 36 pi here, and here you're going to have 60 pi, and some calculators will add those together and have 96 pi, and that is totally fine. That's meters squared. That's actually the exact answer. If you type it in your calculator and do the decimal version, so if you had pi times 6 squared and pi times 6 times 10, you'll end up with 301.59, and either one of those answers is perfectly fine. I'm good either way. Just watch your labeling and make sure that you're always doing like 2 or 3 decimals, okay? Next one, excuse me, I'm going to do the same thing. So surface area equals pi r squared plus pi r L. And in this one, my radius is 8, so I get that twice. And they happen to give me slant for this one too, so I actually didn't have to do any Pythagorean's theorem for this one. So 36 plus 8 times 15. So the exact answer would be 156 pi. And then if you did kind of the decimal answer, you would get 490.09 meters squared on both. So as you can see, cones, even when we did cylinders, the round shapes, the non-polyhedrons, are actually a little bit easier to do surface area-wise. Let's try this last one. It says solve for the slant height this time. So surface area equals pi r squared plus pi r L. And we're solving for this, so that's where my variable is going to go. The whole thing is 12, so that means my radius is 6. And they actually gave me the slant height. It's 126, and don't forget about that pi. That needs to be there. 6 squared is 36, and then I've got 6 pi L here. And this is just a decimal that I can subtract off to the other side. So if I have 126 pi's and I subtract 36 pi's, I could actually have 90 pi over here. Or if you had the decimal, yours would be about 282.74. I'll just do 282.74. And then that would be left with 6 pi L, and you would be dividing by 6 pi. So when you type that in your calculator, I want to show you how to do that. So when you have 682 and you divide by this 6 pi, make sure that that 6 and pi are together in parentheses, or you have to divide by 6, hit enter, then divide by pi and hit enter. If you forget the parentheses, your calculator is going to divide by 6 but then times by pi. It's a little confusing. So if you're going to divide by 2 things at the same time, put them in parentheses, or you have to divide by 1, hit enter in your calculator, and then divide by the other one in order to make it work. Looks like I get 15. And that is my slant height. So cones pretty much as easy as cylinders. Pi r squared plus 2 pi r L. Watch that you're actually finding radius. Sometimes we give you the whole diameter, and you need to make sure that you're putting in the correct radius.